See myself almost get drowned. If you count it up and everybody's eyewitness, like I said, I came up 7 times, or seven times. I got drugged down 6 or 7. I don't know, you do the math. That's 7th time. The 6th time I saw the boat coming. I saw the rescue boat coming. Just a friend. How's this story end up into that? Anyway, so it's July 3rd, 2021. In between my parents' deaths. Dad was dead. Mama was alive for a couple more months. Yeah, we was all gonna go up river from the campground up past the I-35 bridge, just the Red River still, I-35 bridge, and the first stop was gonna be the Moss Lake Dam. We had, and the waterway that came out of it was called Fish Creek, and that's where we all went. And there were several boats already ahead of me when I got there. But before we took off, one guy said, my boss at the time, he said, let's go to Moss Lake. Now we all knew that he meant to the dam, just up Fish Creek all the way to the dam. Okay, I just told you that, Seal. But anyway, so, and you can only do it when there's been a good rain and they've opened the spillway to, drain Moss Lake some. I mean, the newer boat motors, the hydro drive, the jet drives, they can get on up in there, but my boat, it wasn't. It was the prop drive. So I have to have an adequate amount of water, And there was. Anyways, spillway was open. And so when I got up into the opening of the spillway, it's like a big pool area. About like what we got here, these trees. Pretend this is water. Yeah. And it's a good sized area. And then it narrows back into the spillway, cement. I'm telling you all this because this is where I wrecked my boat. Warming up a bit. Sun's finally, it's up. Just can't top these trees. It's like 8:30 in the morning. You know what I mean? What I'm waiting on is to defrost my windows before I start my truck. Anyways, so what's up? So I decided that I was just gonna cruise on up into the spillway and then kill my engine and let the current push me back out. Now, I left smoke at the house that day because, if we're going to be doing a lot of boat riding, it would just be hot. Y'all don't know how hot it is in July in Oklahoma, unless you're from there. And just sitting in the boat is too much, I mean, who knows when we're going to stop. I got like, 30 gallons of gas and I can, 2 ice chests full of beer. We was going to go. We was going to be gone. It was going to be a day. But it's still early. I'm not drunk. I got a buzz going. I got my weed high, but there's no mistakes. I mean, I didn't do nothing wrong. And I say this because we had done this very thing. I remember doing this very thing with my dad and my uncles. We'd go up there and we'd hit that, the swell coming down the spillway as it hit the creek. It makes a hell of a swell. I remember hitting it before. But I also had a different type of boat, because my uncles and my dad, they all had the flat bottom John boats. And I had what is called a V John, where it's not flat, but it's not a V bottom either. It's kind of V'd up front, and it's not as sturdy, not as level, not as well balanced. Like when you get out of the water into the boat, you have to the whole damn boat comes up like this, or came up like this as you were getting in, unless you had somebody to counterweight. It just, and there was the flaw. There was the flaw. It was this shaky boat I was on. But a boat. I keep saying boat. That's not how I talk. That's how Georgia people talk or something. I don't know. That's how this dude I know from Georgia. Boat, my boat. Anyways, so, and but I was already, you know, I'd gone far enough. I was ready. I reached back and to put it in neutral and to kill it and to go ahead and continue execute what I planned on doing. But when I did, when I reached back, I moved the tiller handle where it angled me. You know, I didn't hit it nose on. It put me at an angle, and somehow it flipped my boat sideways, and it dumped me and every damn thing I owned on the boat, everything in the boat, onto the spillway. You know, where before it met, you know, I hit this concrete. It was only like this deep, so smack, I hit that concrete, and then I go down into the spillway. I've been in car wrecks, and you got no idea. I've rolled vehicles. I rode 2 vehicles, and I walked away from both of them. And this water, the turmoil of that swell when they caught me up in there, it ripped my shorts off of me, you know. And that's all right, because I didn't have to clean the shit out of them. But listen, yeah, got me in there, and I'm a hell of a swimmer. That's how I wouldn't be here telling this story. But listen, here it goes. So when it pulled me under, and the whole thing is concrete all the way out into the pool area, bottom, sides. So I'm not bouncing off bottom of sand or nothing. You know, when I'm hitting stuff, it's either gas tanks, ice chests, full cans of beer, my damn Bluetooth speaker, big one, loud enough to hear over a boat engine. This shit's all hit me. Motor's still running, because I mean, I think I got it in neutral, but who the hell knows? I know it's running, and I got hit by a life jacket, and that hurt. But I said, "Oh, life jacket!" But this came a little bit later, because the people that were watching said that I was coming out, and then I grabbed a hold to the life jacket. I grabbed the life jacket after it hit me, and the current, or the undertow, it sucked the life jacket back, and there goes Jack. That's my first, let's see, I went down on the initial, and then I came up, and I was free, and then it took me down the second time. All right. Every time it would take me down, you know, it would just have me in there, you know, just doing whatever, you know, and I wasn't in a ball, because it would just rip me. You know, it was trying to detach my stuff from me. And every time I try to get in some kind of fetal position, you know, and somehow I would manage, because I'd like have my hand right here about the time I would hit the wall, or my leg would be right here in the way when I would hit the floor, you know, the floor, because it wasn't ground, it was cement, so it's floor. And but when I would hit the floor, I would do my best and I would kick up. It was only maybe like 6-7 foot deep. It was, you know, not withstandable, but it was manageable. So every time I would hit the floor, I would kick up. I'd blow out. Do it again. 3-4 times. That 6th time I came up, Ricky Raines, he's an old friend, Dad's friend. He was coming up. I seen him coming up the spillway. I've never hollered for help. I done prayed to God, you know, forgive me for my sins, because I'm coming home. You know, death is imminent. It's certain. Like there was one of the parents out there in the crowd was getting ready to get in the water to hide my body from his children. Death was imminent. Smelt like death. The whole smell of fish went away. All right, but I seen him. I said, "Oh my God, somebody's actually coming." Because I thought to myself, you know, why would anybody try to come and save me if they seen my boat just go to hell? But sure enough, that 6th time I came up, here came Ricky Raines. He was on his way, and I said, "Oh my God, if I can do this one more time." And sure enough, it wasn't long at all. I kicked back up, and as soon as I came up out of the water, his boat was right there. I landed on it. My arms just like this, and his wife, Patty, she grabs a hold to the wheel of the boat, you know, the steering wheel, And he comes over and tries to drag me. I'm like, no, 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 I don't. He's like, come on, I'll get you. I said, just give me the land. And he's like, what's the matter? And I said, I'm naked, you know. Still trying to stay modest, you know. I'm a conservative. And time out, pause for the cause. The zoomies hit all dogs. Oh, we almost biffed it right there on that rock. Ha, yeah. Oh. All right. I give it. So, he just dragged me over to a shade tree near the bank, and I sat there naked on a rock trying to catch my air. I spent the next 45 minutes trying to catch my breath. Exhausting. Somebody luckily had a pair of shorts. They were too big, but they got me. I was wearing some bright road cone orange shorts, and they hung up on something underneath the water in the creek. They were visible. I was able to reclaim my shorts. Some other things ended up back at the house later. But as they were dragging me over to the bank, one person, he said, where the hell were you trying to go? And I hollered, I said, I thought we were going to Moss Lake. Get it? Because that's how you got there. Everybody else stopped, you know. Anyways, as I was sitting there on the bank trying to catch my breath, my boat had yet met its demise. I got to watch it. Even though they said it was about 3.5 minutes I was in that water. What are you eating? It was about 3.5 minutes I was in that water. It's like a 3.5 minute long car wreck. Worse than any car wreck I've been through. But the boat finally got enough water in it to weigh it down. And then with the undertow and all that other shit that I mentioned, it tacoed it first. First it tacoed my boat. You know what I'm saying? Like boats like this, tacoed. Then it's like a drunk mad because it's his last empty beer. Twisted this here aluminum boat to where it didn't look like a boat. It looked like a dishwasher or something. That traumatized me. I'm not afraid of water. They scared the shit out of me. I don't know if that's the closest I ever been to the end, or if that's just when I had time to actually consider that that's the end. But yeah, because it would not let me out every time I went up, you know. Because like I say, I'm a good swimmer. I'm a better swimmer than you are. I promise you, I am a better swimmer than you. I don't care who you are watching this. Navy SEAL, Michael Phelps, I am a better swimmer than you. Probably the only thing I can say I'm great at. I'm a pretty good cook, but when it would not let me go. It wouldn't let me go. I didn't think it was ever going to let me go. It probably wouldn't have without that boat there. I don't know. I was giving up. I wasn't. No quit. I honestly didn't think I had that much in me. Hell, I was 41 years old. I didn't know I had that much juice in me.